have to say, I'm feeling extra creative today. Luckily, my first guest fits that vibe perfectly. He's one of the Mariners jersey guys who's now flipping the jersey game on its head. His custom creations have caught the attention of players like J.P. Crawford, Julio Rodriguez, Cal Raleigh, and much more. And his name is Paul Boal, but around the clubhouse and on social media, he's known as Stitch God. And he's here with us now. Welcome to the show, Paul.
I'm happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
You brought some of your creations.
Yeah,
You're going to show me something in a little bit, but I hear you grew up in Buffalo, New York, but you always knew you wanted to work for the Mariners. Tell me about this story.
I mean, I really, the Seattle always was like, for me personally, I felt like the vibe of Seattle was something that I always kind of resonated with, where it's kind of like anti-normal, anti the system, and being in Buffalo is like a blue-collar place where you kind of end up stuck somewhere. And I always just had a vision that something was waiting for me in Seattle, and I came out here and it was.
Oh, yeah. Amazing.
I didn't even know how to sew before I moved here.
You didn't?
No.
How did you get your foot in the door, though, with the Mariners, and what does your job really entail?
So when I first moved out here, I met a guy by the name of Jerry Thornton, who owns a sports lettering company called STT Sports Lettering, right down the street here, actually. And I basically told him what I just told you, that it's always been a dream of mine, and he told me, if you come out here and you have enough drive behind you, I will not only teach you how to do this job, but I will also teach you a skill that will and did change my life.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Did you ever think, when you think about little Paul and now where you're at and living your dream and what you said from a young age that you wanted to do, did you ever think you would be here?
No, I didn't at all. I didn't even, I mean, the idea was always just like, I just want to be in Seattle, and I never really at all thought that it could be what it is. And I've had so many pinch me moments over like the last 2 or 3 years, but especially over the last like month or so, it's been like how I'm intertwined with Seattle sports, and it's like
mind blowing.
It's mind blowing. Yeah, it really is. What
does your job entail then? Like, if a player's jersey has something wrong with it, do you help out with that, or what does it look like?
So my day to day is any kind of like repairs, like in the stadium that the team might need, or the visiting team, or even umpires sometimes.
Oh.
But if you also came in and wanted Hanson on the back of a jersey, I do that as well.
You know it.
Yeah.
Or New Day.
Yeah,
Who
New
knows?
Day. We could do it.
King 5 Kelly.
King 5 Kelly. That's a good one.
There you go.
There it is.
Clearance rack. Do you use a lot, or what?
So when I initially started doing things, it was clearance rack, because I was just wanting to take jerseys apart for myself to put whatever on the back. But now it's more eBay. It's looking for people that have old jerseys that want to get rid of them. One of my last major like pickups was on Facebook, actually. Some guy was selling like a bunch of jerseys. So, but the point is that you got to just keep them coming in, and then everything gets put back into
the jersey and has like a new life. You were telling me about this one. Yeah. How many lives has that jersey had?
So this one started as either Nelson Cruz or Robinson Cano, and then I had Tom Murphy on the back of it, and now it says Moore on the back, who is still one of my favorite players ever. So
very cool. Yeah. It's so intricate, so unique. You're gonna show me something right now. What's this demo?
So we're just gonna take the number off of this one.
And this is kind of your process, right?
Yeah, so this is the process where you would have something that was once something else, and then you kind of just go along the stitches here, and then what you do is once you get the number off, it ends up going to its next life. But the first important thing is to make sure that it's always on an angle where you're not cutting it too much. But I also like to leave the imperfections of whatever happens while I'm doing it. And like I was telling you before, most of it is reflective on the mood that I'm in that current moment. I try to look at it like a painting now, where like if there's a rip or a tear or there's threads still, like these ones right here still have the threads.
Yeah, it's like a little rough around the edges.
Yeah, so it's kind of like me symbolizing who I am, where I'm rough around the edges too, and I've had some of my threads not come out that are still there, but the goal behind all of it is to kind of just be okay with who you are and how it is, no matter how bad things get, or no matter how dirty it is, or no matter how ripped it is, that you're still a person, you're still representing who you are every day. And that's kind of what a stitch head has become, or somebody who's just proud to be who they are. And that's kind of what the goal is behind the whole thing. And in that amount of time I just told you all that number is already ready to come off.
That is, you did that wicked fast.
Yeah.
What would you think too while you're still
Yeah.
going? Like Julio Rodriguez, was that your big break? What would you look back and kind of say, wow, that was the moment people really started catching on with what I was doing?
Well, I'm going to say that I think that my big break is still on its way.
Oh, yes,
I
like that. That's
yeah,
good.
I'm definitely still waiting for. There's a big moment coming on the horizon, but I actually met Julio very randomly before anybody really even knew who Julio was, and that was how I ended up with chatting with him with things. And then he kind of just told me like, "Hey, man, anything that you want to throw my way, I'll definitely wear it or whatever." And then I think 2 seasons ago now, I made a jacket for him, and he walked in wearing it, and just like that. And then you go like that. And now your number is ready to go.
Whoa, one of my favorite numbers too.
Yeah,
is
exactly.
4 too, so that's looking pretty good.
I would definitely say that Julio wearing my Ichiro jersey this year, though, got me a ton of attention, and that was really cool because
that's iconic.
yeah, he loves Ichiro, and I love Ichiro. So just to be able to do that for him, especially like during the time that it was, and that was my guy growing up, who made me a Mariner fan in the first place. So that was a very full circle moment for me for sure.
And we're looking at some of your pieces too
up
there. You've done so many different things.
Look at that.
Not even just for the Mariners. I mean, obviously there's some pictures there too with Julio and other Mariners, but you've done stuff for other teams. Like I see here the Kraken.
Yeah.
So what can you tell me about this piece too that you brought in?
So that one right there was kind of just me kind of playing around with how that's actually how it all got started for me as Kraken jerseys. I turned into a jacket. That's how Stitch God really started. And just like that, we have another number off.
You're wicked fast over there, Paul. I love the front of this, too.
Yeah, so the front was kind of just like being from, no offense, but being from Buffalo, it's kind of hard for me to like any other team besides, and there's going to be threads everywhere.
No,
sorry
it's
about that.
good. We like the mess.
It's hard for me to rep any other team besides anything in Buffalo, but I had been around the Kraken, and there you go, there's a 1.
Thank you.
I had been around the Kraken, and I was like, well, what's a way that I could still do what I do and have it represent who I am.
Right.
And so that front patch is something that would have been on a jacket back in the day. And now it's a Kraken.
It's giving 90s,
yeah,
it's a
that's what it
vibe.
is. Yeah.
Where do you see your business going in the next 5 years?
I mean, ideally that's a tough question because ideally what I'd like to have happen eventually is that the concept of celebrating a player's entire career to make its way onto a field or a court or the ice in some way. And obviously the celebration of the uniform is a very important thing, but the story that goes along with a player in their career and where they were. And I think when it comes to 5 years from now, I think that my goal every time is that the last jersey that I did, the next one I do is better. So I'm hoping that in 5 years from now, it's just so good that it can't be ignored.
Well, you definitely, sky's the limit with you. Thank you for being here and showing your talent with all of us.
Yeah.
How can people follow you real quick?
So my Instagram is StitchGod716. Don't forget the second T because people always forget that. So yeah, StitchGod716 is where you can find me. Yeah.
Crushed it.